Marathon ready? First, who are you first? I think this could be, is Daniel Prosser winning of the marathon?
If you'd have told me at the start of the year that I'd be entering a marathon race after weeks of botched training, but settling for a sub 3 hour marathon, I'd have told you were dreaming. But here we are, at the Brisbane River Run 100 Marathon, doing just that. Now, if you followed my Below 3 series, where I set out to achieve a 6-year-long dream of running a sub 3 hour marathon, then you might be wondering to yourself, now hang on Dan, it was only a few months ago you even managed to get under 3 hours. What's all this talk about settling for it now? Well, as soon as I'd recovered, my coach Nick Croft and I were exchanging calls and emails, sussing out what would work towards as my next goal. Naturally, the daunting time of sub 2 hours and 48 minutes jumped out at me, as that would mean I'd be running a marathon at just under 4 minutes per kilometre. A blazing pace and an ambitious goal. Unfortunately, I got in my own way during the training block, neglecting my workouts while living it up on the Sundays with the boys, coming back and getting sick, and then being on lockdown in my house while I waited for my test results to come back. I lost almost 3 weeks of training, and despite feeling fitter than I was before my last marathon, the weeks of training I put in after that break meant I was drastically off course. So, after some wise words from Nick and my mum to reconsider going for that insane pace, I adjusted my goals and settled for just doing a sub 3 hour marathon and chalking it up to an experience. And an experience it certainly was. With no pacing balloons to follow and a small amateur field, I soon found myself going a bit faster than I wanted to and even leading the race. I can remember thinking to myself, wow, it's not every day that you're in the position to win a city marathon. That line of thinking was about to come to a screeching halt. As I entered the Botanic Gardens, I was clear of all competitors in all of the races being run at that time. Things were quiet as I tore through a drink stop and down onto another boardwalk. Something just didn't feel right. So I asked someone running towards me if he was racing. He had headphones on, so he just smiled and hit me with the classic, "Hey, how's it going?" So I passed another couple of runners who told me they weren't in the race. Finally, after running somewhere between 600 to 800 meters past where I last saw volunteers, a bloke told me he hadn't seen anyone racing so far that morning. So I turned on a dime, burning up with frustration and disappointment, and absolutely gassed it back to where I last saw volunteers. They informed me as I hooned past that this was indeed the turning point of the race, which only spurred me on more. The mature runner that I thought I was would have just stuck to the designated race pace that I'd set out to do, not worry about the official time, and just focus on my own personal marathon time that would end just under 2 kilometers short of the actual finish line.
I was leading and I ran through halfway.
He was leading and he ran through. He must have gone too far.
But I'd lost my cool, and I'd hit my stride, throwing down some ridiculous times as a thought kept repeating in my mind. I either make up for lost time and get an official race time of less than 3 hours, or I burn out and quit the race. Caught up in that rather self-destructive thought cycle, I crushed the first half marathon with a time of around 1 hour and 24 minutes, but I was still only at the 19-kilometer mark of the actual race. So I forged on, feeling my legs get heavier and heavier with each passing kilometer, and I wasn't even at the 30-kilometer mark. Also, my GPS got a bit screwy underneath the overpass, so some of my times and pathing looks a bit skew-if. I didn't go swimming in the river. Now, when I finally hit the 32-kilometer turnaround at the race hub, I'd fought my way back into at least top 3.
Thank you.
But the prospect of grinding out another 10 kilometers seemed completely unreasonable, and the wheels had well and truly fallen off. Thankfully for me, To stop me from throwing in the towel, I had a few secret weapons. Most of the supporters you've seen and heard cheering for me in the clips had a race of their own to run that day. A 10-kilometer event that started just before I turned around at the race hub. We cheered each other on as they passed me by, always in opposite directions, and despite the horrors I was experiencing in my legs, they always put a smile on my face and spurred me on to the finish line.
Oh, the legend. Got it, boy!
I think this could be, is Daniel Prosser winning the marathon? Is this the first marathon, buddy, mate? First marathon? 4:37, I think it might be unofficially. I'm not sure where this gentleman's come in the 4:37 in the marathon. Is he first across the line?
Oh, so good. Well done.
Thanks.
How you feeling? Did you win?
I don't know.
2 hours and 13 minutes for Daniel Prosser in the marathon.
Now, unfortunately, a recheck of the times revealed I'd actually come second, with a race time of 3 hours, 12 minutes and 32 seconds, and a personal time of 3 hours and 5 minutes. You can see in the pace tracker that I had some huge drop-offs. That's because I stopped to down 2 or 4 cups of water at the 3 water stops on the last lap. After celebrating with my friends and family who had either competed or just come by to cheer me on, we all had brekkie together and went our separate ways. The Brisbane River Run 100 Marathon may feel like a false start, but with the extra training, experience and lessons learnt, I'm closer every day to my ultimate marathon goal of breaking 2:48.
That's all right, I know.